Well, today was the day for Occupy Victoria protesters to have their say, submitting a response to the city's petition for a court order to clear them out, but they missed their deadline. The city, meantime, is defending its decision to send a parks worker to the square on Tuesday morning, where he was allegedly doused in urine. CTV's Andrew Johnson has more tonight, and a peek into a camp that protesters admit is now divided and dwindling.
It has been almost a month since Occupy Victoria got its start. Now, some wandering among the small collection of tents are wondering if people here missed the mark.
I complained a lot in the beginning about the drugs and things because when you're calling out the whole city, you want, everybody's grandma to come down and you want everybody's grandchild to come down. And you need to show the respect.
Claudia Hendricks believes strongly in the global Occupy movement, but knows some of the behavior in Centennial Square has turned people off. She says a lack of leadership was evident early on.
We were divided on the very first night. Daily you see scenes of division down here. If we can just come together down here and practice the love and the peace we preach, then we'd get more people to come down here.
The group had until 4 this afternoon to file a response to the city's petition for a court order to clear out the tents, but has been unable to get something together.
With the knowledge that we don't have any legal representation and that we are mostly a group of concerned citizens, not lawyers and advocates, it's been somewhat difficult to, first of all, digest the 150 or so page document and further make an appropriate response.
Tenters were handed out copies of the city's petition on Tuesday after Lyle Barrett, who was living in a tree, allegedly dumped urine on a parks worker who was trying to remove his bike. The union representing the arborist says he should never have been placed into a confrontational situation.
The worker looked at the manager, as I understand it, and asked whether or not he should proceed, and the manager on site directed him to, go ahead.
But the city says the staffer was under no obligation to work in the area if he didn't feel safe.
We have a policy here at the city, safe work policy, that if any worker feels that they are entering into an unsafe situation, then they can refuse to do the work.
The union is considering legal action while the city conducts its own investigation. Friars says the parks worker was back on the job later that day and has been asked to follow up with a doctor.
Andrew Johnson joins us now live with more. Andrew, I think this is the first time I have heard, or we have heard, the protesters acknowledge what the city's been saying, that the camp really has become disconnected from the message of the Occupy movement.
Like you, it's the first time I've heard it, Hudson, but as we've mentioned in the past, what message you hear from Occupy Victoria often depends who you talk to. Like Claudia Hendricks said in this story, she feels this has been a divided camp right from day one. Meantime, protesters in Vancouver today were under scrutiny by the fire department. The fire chief took a tour of the tent city around 2 this afternoon after a judge ordered the occupiers must comply to fire safety rules. The chief after the tour says he's generally satisfied with what he saw. The city of Vancouver, like the city of Victoria, is seeking a court order to clear the tents. A 3-day hearing will begin in Vancouver next Wednesday.
As for the square here, Tuesday's the day, isn't it?
That's right.
All right. Andrew, thank you.
You're welcome.
Andrew Johnson reporting.